We're joined by SANCO North West spokesperson Mzukisi Jam, who joins us for this discussion. A very good evening to you. Thank you for your time. After listening to that, after hours of scanning, the Stilfontein rescue team say there are no more signs of illegal miners underground. What is your reaction to this?
Thank you very much. We are comforted by the fact that the people who gave us a feedback to say there is no more dead bodies underground, it's our volunteers. But they were also very clear to say they are referring to shaft number 11, where the operation was taking place. However, they also made it very clear that there are a number of bodies which cannot be reached in shaft number 10. And sadly, there is no way that the cage could reach to those dead bodies in shaft number 10. And another sad thing is that it seems as though there is no strategy or plan from the side of the government with regards to reaching to those dead bodies and body parts which we have been reported to be in shaft number 10. But we made them aware of the situation in shaft number 10.
So upon that insight and making them aware, what was their reaction? I mean, is there an indication that perhaps that is an avenue that will be explored?
There has never been any sort of indication. You know, the difficult part or the tricky part is that we are working with people who have no emotions at all. We are working with people who keep on treating these people that they regard as illegal miners like they are some sort of objects. So when we told them about the situation in shaft number 10, they did not really, they were not as bothered as we are. They are not as worried as we are. You must actually remember that even for the operation in shaft number 11, which took place, it was not because they did not do everything because they were willing to do it. They did it because of the pressure that was exerted on them by civic organizations, media, and the courts. So they are not bothered, and I can tell you now for free, they are not going to do anything with those bodies in shaft number 10.
As you speak about illegal individuals, I mean, we know that the Consulate of Zimbabwe, who has just spoken, speaking to SABC News, says that some of the concerns is that the deceased were not documented, and they want to establish a process to identify what needs to happen and who belongs in Zimbabwe. They're not saying that all the individuals are Zimbabwean, but a vast majority are. I mean, what does that contribution indicate as we see a representative from Zimbabwe coming into South Africa to try and establish which of the individuals belong in Zimbabwe? What's your position around that?
It's obvious that there are some of the foreign nationals within this illicit mining, but it still baffles me as to how did the state get to a conclusion that majority of those bodies are actually foreign nationals, considering that there was no record taking where these people were recorded on before they went underground. Now they're talking as if they found these people with some passports and IDs, and that is how they can actually tell that who's Zimbabwean and who's Mozambican. It's very interesting because, like I'm saying, it's not like there was a register taken before these people went underground. However, we will be cooperating in terms of working with the families who are looking for their loved ones. We just hope the police would be as cooperative as they should be.
Yeah.
But as I said, to SAPS, this is just another operation, and these are just a bunch of dead bodies which do not mean anything to them.
We know hopes might be dashed for the relatives of those who were still holding out for the safe return of their loved ones to rise to the surface. I mean, how are you assisting in that regard? You say that you will be interacting with the families, but some families you'll perhaps have no news for them. What approach are you taking in that regard?
It's sad because we still have to address those families, tell them, give them the feedback that we have from the operation that we had for the past 3 days. Our main concern is that it might happen that some of the family members might not find their loved ones, only to find that they are actually part of the bodies that cannot be reached in shaft number 10. So it's a difficult task to carry, but we do not have any other alternatives but to be with the community and the family members as they go through this ordeal. But we are really concerned, and we are really of a very strong view that there is a possibility that some of the families, I mean, some of the people who are still missing, might be among the bodies that are lying in shaft number 10 as we speak.
Mzukisi, you keep emphasizing that the police don't really care. It's just duty as usual. Last year, Minister in the Presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, came under fire when she suggested that government would persecute the illegal miners in Stilfontein. What is your position on how this ordeal has been handled and the kind of approach that has been taken, and perhaps also highlight some of the challenges that are still dominating in the sector?
Look, it has become very clear to say what was the intention of the state. It was not a secret. Starting from the minister in presidency, she made it very clear that they were not intending to send any assistance to these people. They were in actual fact going to smoke them out. So what we are getting out of this whole ordeal is that the government is saying, in dealing with criminality, you must kill criminals. And I'm saying this on the basis of the fact that they themselves said yesterday they cut off food supply to the illegal miners underground, and that was their way of stopping criminality. And in the process of them stopping or cutting food supply, people died of starvation. We had post-mortem results which confirmed that some of these miners died out of starvation. Hence, we are saying, taking from the minister in presidency's statement of smoking them out, and taking from the SAPS telling us yesterday that they had to cut food supply in making sure that they are stopping criminality. So basically, they decided, or the only approach, or the best approach that the state has taken in this regard, was to kill criminals in stopping criminality.
What is your way forward? What are you looking to do? I mean, where does our discussion end here? You've told me about shaft 10. How are you planning on taking this matter forward if that is the position?
Someone has got to account. We would have failed the community, and we would have failed the people of South Africa if we leave this thing hanging. Someone has got to account, and the state has to take full responsibility of what happened, especially the minister in presidency, together with the SAPS minister and the minister of DMRE. So we are actually considering going for a commission of inquiry, but we are still engaging each other as different stakeholders in terms of coming up with the best way forward in dealing with this whole ordeal.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us this evening. SANCO North West spokesperson Mzukisi Jam.